Papercrafters, welcome to another Design with Jo video. I'm Joanne Rogers, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Central Alberta, Canada, and I've been designing with you in mind since 1999. Today I have a really quick little gift for you. It's sort of a gift, sort of a treat holder, but it's super easy to put together and kids and adults will love it. So this is all you need. You need a couple punches. You can use dies if you want, and I've got some samples to show you with those as well. And you need a little bit of paper. I'm using foil, silver foil paper, as well as some Pacific Point paper. And then a little bit of twine or ribbon, if you can, get some thin kind. This is Flowers for Every Season. And I'm using my Stampin' Seal Plus here. And I'm also going to use my liquid glue, my Tombow liquid glue. Now these are the little treats that I found, and I just found these at our bulk barn here, and they come with 3 different little snowmen. And I thought that they were really very, very cute, and they're little cookies and cream treats inside of there. So I thought, what could I do with those? So this is what I've come up with. So we're going to use the ones with the little blue earmuffs right now. And what you want to do first of all is you want to take a punch that this little guy is going to sit on. So I'm using the rectangular postage punch. And you want to take 2 of a color, any color, and it doesn't really need, for the one I'm doing, that's what I'm going to have, but you'll see with my samples that you don't necessarily need to have the color either. And then you want something that's a little bit bigger. So my everyday label is just a little bit bigger than the postage stamp. So I'm going to punch 2 of those in the silver. And when I'm using my foil, I want to be really, really frugal with it. So I go right to the corners and right to the edges, and I'm going to punch 2 here. I'm just, for ease, going to go in from one side and the other. There you go. They really jump around a little bit. So now what we want to do is just put them together. So first, what we're going to do is we are going to sandwich these. So we're going to have 4 of them. We're going to have 1 on either side, and we're going to have a little bit of twine. So I'm going to start with my silver foil and my twine. I'm going to pull in my silicone craft sheet, and I'm just going to put those upside down, and I'm going to start with my Seal Plus. And I'm going to put a good little amount of my Seal Plus on there. You can use tear and tape if you like. You need a pretty strong adhesive. And then I'm going to take about 5-6 inches of my twine, as long as you want, and I'm going to turn that into a little loop, and I'm going to put that right on top of my seal and make that press down really well. Then take your liquid glue, go all around the outside edge, get right up to the top, and it's going to gush out a little bit, so just sort of be careful there. Now, one thing you can always do with your liquid glue is let it set up a little bit. So if you let it set up a bit, it's going to be a little bit tackier and a little bit stickier. But I'm just going to put that together like that. Now, if you need to, bring in some alligator clips just to get that to hold together. And I'm going to just put that together like that, let that set there a little bit. And in the meantime, we're going to take our little guys and we're going to put glue all on the back. Now just be careful. This one here is a good example. Here the candy is not covered by foil. So I'm just going to take the foil and I'm going to cover up the candy. And then press that foil in there really, really well. And then take some liquid glue. And again, this is an example where if you put liquid glue on, let it set up a little bit, just so that it stays tackier. Put that on. And then we're just going to glue 1 right down like that. Your foil will take a little bit longer to set up. Let's put him the right way. Now I have found that they're really quite flat on the one side, so this works really, really well for that. And I know it might be going a little bit too quick here with that liquid glue, but I'm going to take my liquid glue and I'm going to take that and put it right down on top of my foil. So we'll just take that off. I can always let that set up a little bit more later. Okay, so you do need just a little bit of time to let these relax and go into place. Let that set. And then you're going to put the other one on the other side. So now I'm going to turn this over. I have let that sit just a little bit of time. I'm going to turn that over and I'm going to pick up my other fella. I don't know why they're fellas, maybe because they're blue. And I'm going to put more liquid glue on this side. And again, I give myself a healthy dose of liquid glue. So then you want to just match this up so that it sits right on top of that other blue one. So it's exactly the same one side on the other. Now I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to hold it together. I'm going to hold that together for a little bit of time, just until that glue sets up. So you can try this with your tear and tape instead of liquid glue, but if you do, I would put tear and tape and then still put a little bit of liquid glue on, just because it's got a much firmer hold over the long term. So I'm gonna just hold those together for a little bit, but I found that they sit pretty good and they'll dry fine like that. Let me show you some samples now. So I also made this little guy here. So this is using the ornate frames, and you can see it's a good weight to it after it's set. So that's one snowman there. So the ornate frames, I'll show you those dies. So this is where the dies work well. So I found that something about that size is about the best. And then I also have this fellow here, and he is on the gingerbread snowflake, and they'll also fit on the bell and on the star. And that's some of our red foil paper in behind there, and a little bit of our twine from the pets. And then the last one I made was using something that isn't current anymore with Stampin' Up!, but I will bet a lot of you have the oval dies, and these work really, really well. He sits in there really nicely. So there you go. There's a few different ideas for you on some quick little things that you can make either to put on the tree or maybe to sit at somebody's place setting. Thanks very much. I hope you enjoyed this little project and you're going to make up a couple. Please like this video below and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more great ideas that are fun and easy to make. And if you're not yet on my mailing list, why not pop on over to www.designwithjo.ca and get yourself signed up. I post weekly tips and tricks, all kinds of designs and ideas, and all the latest news in the Stampin' Up! Paper crafting world. I'd love to have you join in there. Thanks very much and have a great paper crafting day.